there's a really good perspective out of all of this, all right? Some really good news out of all of this, even though it seems pretty bad, okay? And also, I'll share with you what is the neutral perspective, or I guess not so bullish perspective, coming out of social media here in China, what people are saying online, which is also very important, okay? And I'll also share my own personal opinion. As you guys may know, NIO just did an offering of 181 million shares, 5.57 offering price, roughly 8% dilution for whopping 1 billion US dollars. And that, of course, tanked the stock, tanked the momentum. And guys, I hate to say it again, but every time in my channel, when I warn, I come back and I say, I told you so. Just 3 days ago, I shared my concern. And what did I say there? I said it was really questionable for them to give 20 billion to NIO China, NIO Inc. giving 20 billion to NIO China before profitability. That's like, and my analogy was, that's like pouring out 74% of the water before you left the desert, okay? And the desert here being profitability. So it was really questionable. Like, I have nothing against that, okay? Sure, you can pour out water as much as you want, but the timing was questionable. Why do it now? Why not wait until after profitability, right? Why don't wait until you left the desert and then you can pour out the water? And my analogy isn't completely correct. It's more like giving water to your brother, right? So let's talk about the bullish perspective. And that was my concern. And I was like, hey, they're going to be low on cash because of that. And turns out, hey, they can pour out the water because they're going to get the water from the shareholders, right? Oh, yes, of course. So it all made sense, right? So my concern was valid. And what did I get? A lot of you guys all called me pig, called me dumb, I'm an idiot, insulting me every time. I warned at 60, people insult me, call me an idiot, stupid. I warned when NIO stock was 30. I do these warnings sometimes, just things I see that are kind of like, making me uneasy. And every time people just call me names instead of actually listening to what I have to say. So, but that's all behind us. That has already happened. We're not gonna, dwell on that. So the bullish perspective is, of course, why? Okay, once again, we have to go to the timing. Why did NIO do all this? So they gave 74% of the cash to NIO China. They're depleting their own cash, and then of course they raised more cash with this offering. The timing is really, really interesting. So the bullish perspective, I think, is the fact that NIO believes that once they achieve profitability, okay, over time, maybe in Q4, maybe in the future, of course, the company valuation will skyrocket, right? So it would really make more sense to utilize NIO Inc.'s cash right now to buy more of NIO China. Because if they do that after profitability, the company is going to be worth a lot more. It's going to be more expensive. It's going to cost them a lot more to just gain a few percentage ownership of NIO China. So that's the bullish perspective. Like, they think that NIO China would be worth so much more. All right, NIO is NIO China, basically. Will be worth so much more after profitability. It makes sense to use the cash right now to buy as much of NIO China as they can. All right. So that's the bullish perspective. Now, what is the neutral or not so bullish perspective here in China? So a lot of people here on social media here in China, like once this news was released, I'm just looking online, people were pissed. All right. As you guys can imagine, I've seen the comments. A lot of you guys were also very pissed. Me as well. Like, what the hell, right? Like, things were going great, and then you just, L90 orders, great. ES8 orders, great. And then you guys do this. And the first thing that people have said that I guess isn't so bullish, it's a bit neutral, is that people think that profitability in Q4 might be a little bit of a outreach and a little bit not achievable. And maybe management isn't that confident in achieving profitability in Q4. And the reasoning also ties in with the fact that they're not going to be able to ramp up Envo L90 production until December. When it's December, they can produce 15,000 Envo L90s per car. And then, but the production doesn't equal deliveries. You have 15,000 production in December. Some of that might have to be delivered in January, right? And that's already too late. That's the next year. You got new purchase tax increase. So you don't want that. So they need to be able to ramp up production by October. All right? They need 15,000 production for Envo L90s in October and November and December. So, but then when they ramp up, it's already too late. So people online are thinking, this whole dilution is because they're not confident in actually achieving their delivery target of 50,000 per month to achieve profitability. And that's what the people are arguing here in China. Okay, that's what they say. And I think, and this is my personal opinion, I think I have to sort of agree with this a little bit. Okay, unless they can get the production up, no matter how much demand you have, it doesn't matter. All right, and everything resets at the end of the year, because at the next year you have new subsidies that are probably going to be lower. You have new purchase taxes, which are guaranteed to be higher. We already know that it's going to be higher. So everybody wants to take delivery of the car before the end of the year. And if they can't do that, they will lose their orders to competitors. All right, they will lose their orders to competitors who can deliver the car before the end of the year. And then we have to tie it all back to F3, factory number 3. Factory number 3 has to be up and pumping right now. But they recently just started to, do training for some of the staff. And even though it seems like it's all completed and built, they're still not producing cars yet out of F3, it seems. And that factory needs to be up and running, pumping cars, really getting cars out there. So my opinion is that, man, I really want profitability to happen. And I've been arguing that profitability could happen with the cut in expenses, okay? Because they've closed so many stores, they've cut so much staff, sales staff, also people at HQ, a lot of expenses all cut. And just with that alone, I think they could potentially look at get profitability, but also they really need to pick up on production and deliveries. That's a huge, unknown factor right now. They can't get the cars to the customers. The Envo L90 wait time, 2 months. Yeah, right now it's already September. 2 months, that's November, right? So that means October, if it's still 2 months, that's going to be December. All right, or next year. And if it's next year, people aren't going to be buying the car. I can guarantee you that. The purchase taxes, subsidies are gone. It's different, right? So they need to be able to get those cars to customers right effing now. So that's the thing. That's the thing I'm most concerned about when it comes to the profitability picture. I think 50,000 per month is a far reach. I think, in my honest opinion, it's kind of a little bit hard to achieve, okay? But I am still optimistic in the fact that we can achieve profitability with the cut in expenses, okay? So that's my opinion and my stance on this. And guys, dilution, it pretty much guarantees bankruptcy is impossible, okay? All right? They can always get more money from the open markets. So, yeah. Bankruptcy is impossible, so don't worry about that. Yeah, my concern turned into a reality. I'm not proud of it, but I hope you guys can stop insulting me for sharing my honest concerns and sharing with you insight. And I'll tell you this, there's a lot of shit I know, good and bad, that I cannot even tell you, okay? Because this is, if I told you guys this, some of the shit I know, the good or the bad, yeah, you guys will flip over. Like, you guys will flip the tables and go crazy, all right? So I'll just leave it at that. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.